Now that we built our DAX measures, it is time to move into Excel and connect the financial statement using Cube functions. The first thing you should know is that there are several different Cube functions in Excel. If you type =CUBE into a cell, you'll see a list. There are about 7 or 9 in total. The most commonly used are CubeMember and CubeValue, and those are the ones we'll focus on here. CubeMember returns an item or a member from the data model, things like captions, sections, or filters, like month and date. Think of it as pulling the label of something. On the other hand, CubeValue returns the actual value from the cube, the number we calculate in DAX. That's what we'll use to display our metrics such as totals, MTD, QT, and YTD values. For our financial statement, we'll use a CubeMember to define each row, revenue, COGS, etc., and the CubeValue to return the actual amount for those rows. To make this work well, you need to clearly understand your data model structure, which tables are dimensions, which one is a fact table, and how they are related. Once you know that, the formulas become much easier to write. Let's just start building our income statement layout in Excel. We'll have the standard flow, revenue, cost of goods sold. We'll give gross margin. We're going to subtract operating expenses to arrive at operating income. Operating income less interest expense will give us earnings before tax, and the net of tax expense will give us net income. Across the top, we'll later bring in a date filter so the statement can show specific month result. Let's begin with the CubeMember function. In any cell type =CubeMember, here's what happens. The first argument, this workbook data model, connects Excel to our data model. The second argument defines which table and field to pull data from. Let's begin with the CubeMember function. In any cell type =CubeMember, then here's what happened. The first argument, this workbook data model, connects Excel to our Power Pivot model. The second argument, chart of account, financial caption, and revenue, defines which table and the field to pull from. In this case, COA, financial caption column, and then the field called revenue. Press enter, and then you'll see revenue appear. That's your first successful CubeMember link from the data model. You can copy and paste this down to create other rows, other revenue, cost of goods sold, operating expenses, and so on. Just changing the final member name inside the formula. To make the layout clean, I like to indent sub-items like other revenue slide to the right. At this point, you built the skeleton of your income statement. Each row is now connected to a corresponding member in the data model. Next, we'll create a date filter. The process is the same. We're going to type =CubeMember, this workbook data model, comma, and then we're going to select from calendar table and month and date column, and then we're going to enter finally month and date 2024 12/31. This connects to the calendar table and specify the particular month and date, December 31st, 2024. You can change this date later through a drop down. So now our statement will always calculate for the specific reporting date. Now comes the key step, pulling the actual numbers using CubeValue. Type =CubeValue and start with this workbook data model. That's our connection name. Put a comma, and Excel will now show options for the second argument. In this case, select measures and then choose total TB since we only have one measure at this point. Now close the bracket to complete the function. Let's hit enter, and we get 0. That's actually correct. When you add up all trial balance accounts, the total has to be 0. The sum of debits equals the sum of credits. So this tells us the measure is working properly. Now from here, we'll start adding filters, or what's called member expressions. The first member expression is the measure. We already have that. The second one is our revenue item. So click on the cell that contains revenue CubeMember function. Let's fix the column reference so it stays in place. Press enter, and now we get negative 605, 423, 541. That's the total revenue for the entire table. But we don't want the total. We want the revenue for specific date. So for the third member expression, we'll link it to the date CubeMember cell. Let's fix the row reference this time so we can copy the formula down later. Hit enter again, and then there it is, 24,869,357. That's the revenue for December 2025. Let's quickly check the pivot table, and yes, the revenue matches perfectly. So our CubeValue function is working exactly as expected. Now, since our income statement structure is already set up, let's copy the formula down to the rest of the rows. Just my personal preference, I like to use the aggregate function to total any rows or cells inside a structure. It will keep things consistent and easy to manage. I'll fast forward a bit here as I fill out the rest of CubeMember formulas, and after a few minutes, everything's ready. All the formulas are populated and working properly. You'll get a copy of this Excel file later, so you can check and follow along for yourself. Right now, our date filter is static. It's just set to just one specific date, but we want to be able to click on a drop-down arrow and change the date, so the values update automatically. We already set up the calendar name range earlier, so let's use that to create a date selector. Go to the Data tab, then click Data Validation. On the settings, change the arrow option to List, and in the source box type equal Calendar. Click OK. Now you've created a drop-down menu links to our calendar name range. When you click the arrow, you can pick any date from the list. Next, we need to make the CubeMember function dynamic, so it updates automatically based on the selected date. For this, Excel has a special syntax. You can link a cell inside a cube function by using double quotes, ampersand, and the cell reference, and close it off with another ampersand and a double quotes. That's it. But there's one important note. You need to wrap the date in the text function so Excel formats it properly. The syntax looks like text and the cell reference, comma, and give double quotes and close off. Without that, the direct link won't work correctly. It's confusing if two identical dates appear in the list, or users try to edit the date manually. To make things clearer, I usually hide the CubeMember date cell. To do that, select the cell, press Ctrl+1 to open Format Cells, choose Custom, and type 3 semicolons. Then click OK. Now the date disappears, but when you click on the cell, you can still see the value in the formula bar. Later, if you like, you can lock the cell so users don't accidentally change it. I did not want to waste time showing this part in real time, so I fast forwarded the video a bit. The rest of this section is mostly about copying the column to the right, dragging the formula down, debugging a few errors along the way, and validating numbers to make sure the cube members and values are displaying and calculating correctly. This is the reality when you first build the report. A significant amount of time goes into validating numbers and confirming that all the cube functions work as intended. I also added the balance sheet to the right of the income statement just to make it easier to view everything side by side.